We are going to begin day 4 of MAP vocabulary. Today we have another 10 words that we are going to talk about. First, please flip to the first page and find the word author. An author, I would guess that you already know. So take a few seconds and write down the definition in the second column for the word author. Your definition might have looked something like this: a person who writes a book, story, article, etc. So someone who writes something. Now in the third column, write 2 examples of authors in your packet. Here are 2 examples that I came up with: J.K. Rowling and Roald Dahl. Now please look at the word character at the bottom of the same page, page 1. On your own, in that second column, write a definition for the word character. So the definition I came up with is a person in a story. Pretty basic. Now write 2 examples of characters in your packet. Here are 2 examples I came up with: Harry Potter, of course, and Stanley Yelnats. Notice also how when I say the word character, I say character. Even though it starts with the CH, we pronounce it as character. Now right below, we will look at the word characteristics. A characteristic is another word to say character traits, or it's a quality of something or someone. So these are the character traits that we have been talking about as ways to describe our character. So write at least 3 examples of character traits or characteristics in your packet. Here are 3 examples I came up with for how you could describe a character: brave, malicious, like evil, or worrisome. You're very worried all the time. You maybe had different words that you thought of. We are now going to look at the word motivation. This is on the bottom of page 5. So we have talked a lot this year about a character's motivation. So based on what you remember, see if you can write the definition of the word motivation in the second column of your packet. Your definition might look something like this: the reason why someone does something or what they want. So an example could be Jessie, her motivation in running out of time is to save her sister and all the other people in Clifton. Now take a look at the third column. So as I was making this, I realized that I made a mistake. In that third column, I accidentally switched mood and motivation. So where you see examples, inspired, annoyed, depressed, draw an arrow up to the box above for mood. Those are examples of mood. So then in the empty box, you are going to write the motivation of the character in your story. So think about your book club book. What is your character's motivation? What does your character really want? Now please turn to page 8 and find the word speaker. With what you know about the word speaker, Try to write a definition on your own in the second column. Your definition might have looked something like this. A speaker is a person talking. Pretty straightforward. Now in the third column, your job is to draw a picture to represent speaker. Here is my picture of the word speaker. Pretty simple, but it's all I need to help me remember what it means. Just a person talking. Now we are going to go to the word narrator at the very top of page 6. You have probably heard the word narrator in years in the past, so based on what you remember, try to write a definition on your own in that second column. Your definition might have been something like this: the person telling the story. Now your job is to draw a picture to represent narrator. So here is my person telling the story. At the bottom of the page, you will find this word here, point of view or viewpoint. Two ways to say the same thing. The point of view or viewpoint is the perspective from which something is said. So this could be first person, second person, or third person. You probably have heard these words used in the past, so see what you can remember to write pronouns that go with each point of view. I will show you one to get you started. First person, a word for that could be I. What are other words that go with first person? What about second person? And then third. Lots and lots of examples. So we talked about how first person could be I, me, my, mine. These are all words that talk about the person thinking or talking. So if I'm talking, I am using I, first person. It's about myself. So in that third column of your packet, write some example pronouns for first person. Here are some examples you might have written. Now please turn to page 9 to look at this phrase, third person. Based on the pronouns that we used a couple slides ago for third person, see if you can write a definition. Here is my definition. Words that talk about another person who is not the one talking or the one who is being talked to. So this means it's not me, it's not the one talking, and it's not you, the one who's being talked to. Instead, it's he, she, them, words like that. So in the third column, write some example pronouns for third person. There are a lot of pronouns that are in the third person. Here's my list here. Make sure you have a few of these written down in your packet. Our last word for today is contribute. This word you can find on page 2. The definition of contribute is to give along with others. Here's an example. Everyone helped and contributed to make the show a success. So everyone gave something, whether maybe they gave their time, they came and helped and stayed for a while, or maybe they donated props for the show. Some way they helped to make the show a success. Here's another example. Justin Bieber's good looks contributed to his success. So think to yourself right now, what also contributed to his success? Think of another thing that contributed to his success or helped him to have success. This is the end of day 4. After this slideshow, you should now be able to do day 4 homework.